We don't need to learn new things. We need to be reminded of the things we already know to be true. I have learned several lessons over this past year that I'm continuing to learn to this day that involve overpromising and under-delivering. And so here I am, you know, a lot's going on. Let me just describe the situation. I've got the most important marathon in the world, the New York City Marathon, this weekend. And I'm thinking to myself just now, like texting this guy that a tree fell in his house and I helped him cut it up into blocks, and I was going to use the pieces of wood, for slabs, cut them into cookies or whatever it is and sell them, 8 months down the line, right? Okay, so I'm thinking to myself, New York City Marathon is this weekend. I've got $250 total in my bank that I'm gonna have to use to rent a car so I can run the marathon in Maryland the day before the New York City Marathon. That's the first layer. And somehow I'm gonna try to find enough money so I can drive up to North Carolina to take care of the situation up there, of these logs that I helped cut, before, but wasn't able to follow through on the full project because it was a lot more than I could chew. I bit off a lot more than I could chew. There's that second layer. The third layer being that, on top of trying to come up with the money for that and pay for the New York City, me realizing today that I made a massive mistake. The New York City Marathon is the most difficult marathon in the world to get into, arguably. And I had a free guaranteed entry, and I didn't submit the application when it was due. And I realized today that I messed up big time because I was supposed to submit the application and I didn't. And I'm working with this company. And so I promised them that I could follow through on a simple application. Just so stupid of me to not follow through on that. I probably put it off for 1 week because I was dealing with the marathons that weekend, and 1 week snowballed into 8 months, and here we are. And so I woke up this morning, and that was the first thing on my plate, is that I picked up the table that I was supposed to be working on today, but then there's this marathon situation that I got to figure out, and then I get back here, and I've got this documentary that I want to do for the 50 States Marathon Challenge, and so I'm trying to figure out how to solve the problem, with the New York City Marathon, while also coming back here, working on the table, and then, I've got the tables that are 2 weeks late, right? So they should have been delivered 2 weeks ago, and here we are. So overpromising and under-delivering there. Overpromising and under-delivering to the Marathon Photo, the organization that I was supposed to race this marathon with at the New York City Marathon. And then I get back here, and I'm overpromising to the guy up in North Carolina because I'm like, I can sand the tables Thursday. What am I thinking? Why am I doing this? Why do I stretch myself so thin? All of this with $250 in my bank account. Like, I have no money. The main focus should be the tables. And then for me to have the audacity to think that I could drive up to North Carolina with no time, having already committed to 5 p.m. tomorrow, helping someone else out here in Georgia. So stupid of me. There's all these things. I'm trying to put it all together all at once. I'm trying to get too much to happen. And I have no money, and it sucks to not live up to your promises, to not be a man of your word. Who am I if I'm not a man of my word? Does Wyatt Moss mean anything? Who cares if he's run a marathon in all 50 states? If he doesn't live up to his promises, if you can't trust him, if you can't work with him, then it's useless, His word means nothing. Your accomplishments won't outweigh your character. Maybe that's what the lesson is to be learned here. And as well, you don't need to learn new things. You need to remember things that you've already learned. I've already learned the hard way all of these things. And here I am in a pinch again with all of them stacked on top of me. There's only so many times when you can do this until enough layers are stacked and something snaps and you're in a very difficult situation that you can't get out of. So, and there's always a way you can get out of it. It's just you have to sacrifice things, or you have to, I know that this is going to pop up because I'm trying to pull off the 50 States Marathon Challenge on such a budget at 22 years old without a job. I know that this is it's probably not a good idea to go out there and try to source logs for slabs of wood that I would sell in 8 months. I've got today's problems to take care of. I shouldn't be thinking about 8 months down the road. But at the same time, I'm like, well, I need to have wood to sell down the road for the series that I do next year. But then on the flip side, like any money that I make should go to the wood that I already have in the garage, or, to the marathons that I'm running right now. If I have any extra money, then I should probably save it, because I should probably be using it in a week or two for the marathons. So it's gut-wrenching, because I want to go up to North Carolina tomorrow morning. I really do, because I want to take care of the situation. I want, to be able to follow through on the promise that I made to this guy. Now, at the same time, like, I did help him for free, and I was going to just take the wood as payment. And so realistically, like, I've just dragged him along a couple days, 4 or 5 times now over the past 2 weeks, with following up on the work that I already put in for free. So, it's not like I'm not paying him anything, or it's not like I owe him anything. It's like, it's just that it's an annoyance, in that it's so stupid of me to just keep promising things and not deliver. It's so naive and childish, and I hate it. It's like a punch to the gut. So I'm going to wake up tomorrow, and I'm like, I just have to finish those tables and get them out of here. And then I got to figure out, the situation for New York City. And as well, I've got the Philly Marathon in Tulsa, and there's so much going on. I should be expecting these problems to happen, because I don't have a team. And I have no money. And, I'll be in the position eventually to where I can kind of climb around that and have a team and have money. But for now, it's just so annoying that all of this happens at once, and I'm having to relearn the same lessons that I've always learned, or already learned. And, the stakes are getting higher as my mistakes become public. There's only so many times that I can be late to a flight, or, not make a marathon weekend, to where sponsors are like, do we even want to work with this guy? And I know that that's my brand, and I know that I can kind of convince them otherwise, but I mainly just want to be a man of my word. That's the other thing. First sponsored videos 2 weeks ago in Chicago, and I wasn't even able to follow through on that. I'm just asking too much myself, so I just got to start under-promising and over-delivering, or asking for a lot more than I'm asking for. Or just telling people, hey, this is what you're going to get working with me at this stage of my career for this amount of money. Here it is. And then I can just tell them. Because expectations, I just got to set better expectations. That's really it. So I am upset that I am the way that I am, and I need to change. And that's it. Why not us?